Good evening. What's going on, everybody? I'm back. Hope you all had a Merry Christmas. It's good to be here. Miss you guys, but didn't completely miss you because sometimes breaks are needed. You know what I mean? Anyways, how we all doing tonight? Let me check in with you guys real quick. And Joe was first tonight. I see all you guys talking about the Niners. Come on, get it. Whatever. We lost bad last night, okay? But here's the thing: we outgained them in yards. We had 3 of those picks were just flukes. It's fine. We'll be ready in the Super Bowl, and that's what matters. This is a good loss. It was a good loss because when you're rolling like that, you get cocky and not learn anything. It's a good loss. We'll be fine. We'll be fine. We'll be much better. Niners are a farce. Get out of here. Listen, the only people allowed to talk smack are Ravens fans. That's it. Because we've dominated everybody else except the Browns and Bengals. Okay, AFC North people can talk smack except for Steelers fans. That's it. Nobody else. Eagles fans and Cowboys fans, you guys don't have anything to argue about. You guys got smoked by us and by other weak teams. Anyways, at least it was the best team in the league we lost to. All right. Merry Christmas, Robert, Darren, Stony, Barbara, Cindy Lou, CJ, Yukon, Onside, Kryptonian, Rosie, Goodwill, what's up? Capote, Brenda, Tina, Kathy, Thomas, Merry belated Christmas. Gasparino's MMTLP bully. This is how I like to think of my Christmas. Merry Christmas, everybody. Merry Christmas. We'll just share the love of Bill for a minute here while we talk. Rosie, you're an Eagles fan. You don't get to talk smack. We weren't exposed. It wasn't like they figured anything out. They just beat us up. But we'll be ready next time. Oh my God. I don't want to hear the crap from you guys. Get over it. It wasn't a demolition. We were close to scoring again at the end. We almost lost by only 1 touchdown. We came back. We were up 5-0 and Purdy threw a pick in the end zone. We would have been up 12-0. Don't give me that crap. It was rough. We got beat. But you guys talking as if it was the end of the world. You're wishful thinking. We're going to the Super Bowl. The NFC's weak. And we'll beat the Ravens if we play them again. Anyways, you guys are so fun. Yeah, the Giants almost beat the Eagles. There we go. What's up, Key, Aaron, Joel, Mario? Condolences on your loss too, Mario. You guys have just been losing over and over again. Rosie, shut up. We struggle against mediocre teams. Get out of here. You must be saying your team's pretty mediocre then, because we didn't struggle against you. Garbage time scoring. You guys are funny. We're going to the moon. That's right, Immortal. We're going to the financial Super Bowl. Brother, I believe it. It's got to be coming. This week, I think, is going to be a dull week. We only have 4 days of trading. They're doing all their tax loss stuff. Tomorrow's the last day. So we might see maybe some movement Thursday, Friday that's interesting. I doubt it. I think this week is going to just be chill and up and down. The market's going up again there. Whatever. None of it's real. Next year is when it starts. That's when it gets interesting. Yeah, the Cowboys didn't struggle with the Giants and the Niners didn't either. So there you go. Wisconsin, I moved to Carolina. I'm not from here. So the Giants are playing QB from Section 105C12. Almost beat the Eagles. I know, it's like Rookie of the Year. You guys remember that movie? So, friends, are you guys ready for this coming year? I think next year, we're heading into the new year, and that's when I think things are about to get really interesting. Not only for our stocks, but we are now 2.5, 3 weeks tops away from finger earnings, which should be awesome. And then I think a deal is coming probably right on the heels of that. It would make perfect sense for them to double it up like that, announce the earnings and then announce a deal. And then with GTII, I still think something's coming really soon. And again, I think it makes sense to wait to the beginning of the year. They get through all this tax loss nonsense. Everybody's cleaning their books up for the beginning of the year this week, last week. And I'm excited. I do think something's coming. I really do. Unfortunately, we don't have much news. It's been so dead because of the holiday weekend. So tonight I do have some stuff I'm going to cover, mostly on general economics, what's going on in the economy, how the year's winding down, and then we'll do Q&A kind of stuff and catch up on where we've been. But it's that time of year, things really have slowed down, and that's okay. That's okay. But this, I believe, is our time, our quiet period before things get interesting. I really think things are going to be picking up soon everywhere, not just in our stocks, but in the economy, politically, obviously. I mean, guys, we're 3 weeks away from the primary. I believe it is January 16th, I think, in Iowa. So Iowa caucus, maybe it is. Anyways, things are about to get interesting. We're not going to have a boring winter. That's for sure. The Bucks look good. I think the Bucks are going to beat the Cowboys round one because the Cowboys are going to have to go there. Eagles weren't healthy. Get out of here. Excuses. What's up, Robert? Good to see you, man. How you doing? Fox Hunter, you think MMTLP could settle soon? Yeah, if MMTLP settles, that's going to definitely ignite GTI or Finger or both because of the ties in the community. So that'll be excellent. Excellence in broadcasting. Mike, was that you that made that graphic? That was amazing, man. You killed me. Oh, Anthony's here. Oh my God, my fantasy team's about to be a red candle. Dude, I'm gonna kill you. Anthony is the number 1 seed in my longtime fantasy league, and we're playing in the playoffs next week, so it's going down. Van Man, starting January 29th, Prime Video movies and TV shows will include limited advertising. Oh, fun. They got to milk it for all they can. Mark, you playing the fiddle? I didn't come on here crying about our loss, so you don't need a fiddle for me. Yeah, I don't need the fiddle. Steelers are 4-1 against Bengals, Browns. That's crazy. Hawks fans can talk smack. Not to the Niners. Grump. Yo, Ace, what price range do you think Finger could squeeze to? I think so. 2024, guys. I've been saying this for weeks now. Once the market corrected in November, because the market was on its way to crashing in October. It just was. It was going deep red. But they corrected it. They probably injected it with some stuff, whatever. They were able to extend it out, a rally. And now we've had all-time highs, which are fake, but they're there because of inflation. And everybody gets to talk about how great the economy is for, or at least the markets are for, Christmas and everything. They're trying to get that Santa rally way up there. They're trying to get people buying and feeling good. And, it's a last little pump they're trying to do before going into 2024, because they know 2024 is going to be ugly. It's so ugly. Everybody who's in the actual economy knows it. And so 2024, I think, is the culmination of many, many things coming. In fact, I saw this fascinating thing today, which I shared earlier from Zero Hedge. And I thought it was kind of cool because it's something I've been saying, and Zero Hedge did a story on it today. So let me pull it up here real quick here. Yeah, so check this out. Zero Hedge did a story today called 2024, the Year of Our Reckoning. I mean, how wild is it that so many people are coming across the same stuff? It's not like I talked to Zero Hedge. It's not like they know who I am. They didn't write this before I was saying stuff. So I'll pull up the story in a second. Let me catch up on some of these comments. But you can tell that many, many people think a lot of things are coming to a head in 2024. So as far as what price range do I think it's squeezed to, Grump, I still believe 1,000, breaking 1,000 is easily in play for these. Goodwill, you sold your Finger and half your GTI in 12.3, capturing the loss, making a big buy 1.4. Nice, man. Elon gonna have us pick us up in SpaceX after squeeze. I like that. Jim, would I anticipate small run up going into finger earnings based on history? Should release January 12th, shorts pinning down around 4. It's very possible, Jim. I do think there'll be anticipatory buying. So yes, that would absolutely make sense for the very small run up. But the problem is our stocks are so manipulated, you just never know. So Ham, what's up, man? So Ham says the high originally went up to 17 in finger and then 10, then 8 and 7. So there you go. Naked short now is 500 times bigger, he says. So Ham is in. I love it. What's falling like a rock, Ham? Oh, the FSU. Yeah, don't get him started on FSU, guys. He'll be in a bad mood. We don't want Ham in a bad mood. Good evening, Gerald. 74 members of Congress signed for MMTLP. That's awesome. I heard it was 70. Yeah, learn how to deal with the nonsense. Absolutely. You had your gummy, Gerald? MMTLP, baby. Hopefully we see some soon. I agree with you, though, Ham. I think FSU is going to get killed. They have nothing to play for. It's one thing if a team has something to prove. Then anything can happen. Also, yeah, happy belated birthday. Thanks, KYP, for reminding me that Ham's birthday was yesterday. Happy birthday, sir. But yeah, why FSU is going to get smoked. You can kill a team's spirit, and that's what happened when they made that decision with FSU. Oh, that's right here. So I feel so bad for that team, those kids. All right, so I just wanted to go over some of this in this story, guys, because I do think 2024. Again, so many things are coming to a head, and I believe our stocks are going to be part of this too. But in some sense, the country for recent years has been cruising on the fumes from prior and likely better, wiser generations, institutions. 2024 tab for our current apathy, toxic politics, and competence comes due. Next year, we will likely see the climax to a number of current dangerous ideas, events, and forces, which finally will either overwhelm us or be addressed and remedied. I think that's really interesting that they did a whole story on this, and they're talking about the wars, the politics, the immigration stuff going on, and just the riots. But you can see it's a great story. I highly recommend reading it. Zero Hedge is a great place to read stuff. It has such good economic coverage and political coverage too most of the time, but their economic stuff's really good. They really expose market fraud all the time. They're on top of all that stuff. So I just recommend checking it out. But I thought it was so interesting as the year of our reckoning. And I really, what have I been telling you guys? I think that 2024 is going to be the ending to so many things we've been involved in or waiting for, and it's going to be tough. And it's going to suck. And I think Ham said it on the live today with William that he really thinks they're going to try to keep the economy up, which they're already doing, and then crash at some point, either when the election's over, if Biden somehow sneaks back in or somebody else, or if Trump wins, they let it crash as soon as he goes. I think it's going to be sooner. I really do. I think it's coming as early as March. One of the reasons is this. Oh, not that. Right here. So in March, the Federal Reserve's ending their bank term funding program exactly at the worst possible time. Remember last year, March was when all those banks started collapsing. If they end this, it's going to start Armageddon for our markets. And they might even happen before that. The system's so stressed. But again, this is a great thing to be watching out for about why this could happen soon. It's going to be a rug pull for the markets and the banks. That's why I think it's going to happen sooner. And this come out today just is more ammo for me to believe that. Let's catch up. Easy says, called Fidelity on my GTI dividend. They said Friday had no journal entries regarding it. What? That's crazy. You screened every shot. Tom was shocked he wasn't on history, had to send pics. That's wild, Easy. So they just erased the entire history of all of us getting our dividends and then being pulled back out. Wow. Well, there you go. Yeah, Niners are still the favorites. That's true. When Ham gets angry, he turns into green eggs and ham. Gretchen, seems like it'd be better for MMTLP if Finger and GTI go first. Gives them more leverage. Maybe, you know what, Gretchen, it might be better for the settlement. You absolutely could be right about that. It might be better for the settlement, but I think it'd be worse as far as all that you can make, because if you guys get settled before and you can buy into GTI and Finger, and then that runs, the multiplication effect kicks in, and overall you make more. So yeah, there's definitely a push-pull there, pros and cons. The day Finger squeeze, I'm taking a handful of gummies at once while I watch myself Finger. Don't knock yourself out. Ham has FBI and Secret Service. Techno Slega. Watch me with a 12-minute delay. 12-minute delay, jeez. Oh, you must have gone back. MMTLP fuse is lit. You're holding at Schwab shows a 625 dividend shares just can't. I don't know what you're saying. Sorry. Goodwill emailed Elise Stefanik about Gary Gensler, SEC, and MMTLP as SEC reform seems to fall off her agenda. Interesting. Yeah, I would definitely. Elise Stefanik should be still on that. Ham, did you talk to her? I know you were reaching out to her. I can't remember if you actually spoke to her or not. Here we go. Fed begins liquidity injections at the end of a cycle because it gives them complete control over when the rug is pulled. They did this with repo in 08 and 2020, doing the same thing with BTFP. Now that's what we just looked at, the bank term funding program. Fundamentals show we're on the verge of recession. You can see the graph right here. So anyways, the point is they're taking control of the markets by pumping it up, and then they can pull it down. It is interesting that they're planning that for March. I don't know why. All I could think of is that they're running out of money, which I've shown you guys the reserves. I think we did on a show a couple last week. Showed you how the Fed's reserves are drying up. Now the Fed can always print, but they're not going to in this environment. Inflation would kill. If you think that a down stock market hurts the incumbent, which is Biden at the moment, imagine what inflation will do, because it's already killing him. If inflation went up to 10% again, it'd be game over by the biggest landslide we've ever seen. So they cannot allow inflation to happen. So what they might try to do is tank the economy in a way that causes deflation, so everything gets cheaper again. But as somebody said on Williams Live today, a trucker, that there's nothing. There's no trucking going on right now. There's barely any goods being sold and shipped. Everything is slowed down. Trucking companies going bankrupt left and right. And that just shows you that the consumer is not buying anything, which is obviously a huge, huge warning sign. Let's see. What's up, Paulie? Thank you, Moose. Moose gifted a membership, and David Sushamel gets it. Sushamel's back. Fox Hunter, I believe there's more than 16 likes. You gotta refresh it. Goodwill says Gretchen regulators and brokers hate short squeezes. They don't want to help fuel it with MMTLP reparations. That's very true. Sell GTI on the next rip. That's fine, man. GTI might never stop on the next rip. That's a good point, Rosie. Kryptonian BRICS transactions start in 2024 too. That'll cause strange activity. Absolutely it will. In fact, speaking of BRICS, I think, where is it? Let me pull this up here. Yeah, right here. Egypt, Ethiopia, Iran, Saudi Arabia, and the UAE could join as full members of BRICS as soon as January 1st. That is definitely shifting the New World Order, and so to speak, away from the West. This alliance that's going on economically is not far off. The more these countries join, it's not going to be far off from being able to tackle and overwhelm the U.S. and Europe, and as far as the economy goes, as far as economics go, trading, everything. It means that by doing this, by banding together, they will be able to command trading and trade prices, everything, which the U.S. and Europe have been in control of now for, 100 years. So this is very interesting coming up here. Matthew, thank you so much, man. Merry Christmas to you too. He says, thank you to me, Ham, and William for fighting every day. You're so welcome, brother. I really appreciate the gift. Thank you so much. That's very generous of you. Thanks as always, man. You've been a great supporter, and I appreciate it every time. I greatly do. Thank you. Goodwill says Immortal talking. He's talking. You making guesses, Goodwill, on their your GTI rips. I like the cha-cha up above too. MH, you have 625 GTI dividend shares at Schwab. They can't be sold. Yeah, I know, man. It sucks. Susan, what's up? Crash timeline fall 2008. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I do think that it could be fast like 2008 was with the banks once they crashed. However, it's going to play out much differently on the back end because they just don't have, they're not going to have the same tools to fight. And because they don't have the same tools to fight, they won't be able to stabilize it as quickly. In other words, what's going to happen is that we'll see more banks fail. I do, from what I've read, the big banks are much better prepared for this than the little ones are. Whereas it was the reverse in 2008, where the big banks were the least prepared, which is why they created TARP, dished out all those funds to the big banks. They borrowed trillions from the U.S. Government and were able to pay it back in like 3 to 5 years, most of them, which tells you how big those banks really are. This time it'll be different. The small banks will all go first, and they'll be eaten up by the big banks. It's going to be trouble though, because we've already seen there is strain on the big banks as well. Bank of America withheld deposits at one point. Wells Fargo, Chase, we've seen the numbers are rough. I think this is going to be epic. I really do. And honestly, guys, this is one time I hope I'm wrong. But as I've been saying, and as Ham said again today on Williams' thing, that we're in the opposite. So if it goes bad for them, it'll be good for us. But we're also going to have to move our money fast to get it into good places to make sure we preserve that wealth. Ham says, take your money and hide it or buy gold. Absolutely. Yeah. So have a plan. I think this is all going to go pretty fast and furious once it starts going, including our squeezes. Those could go, and then we could go right into a horrible economy. And so start planning now. Use this quiet time before all this happens to plan. I'm not a doomsayer, but I'm preparing just plans, having plans just in case. And it could be beyond epic. And speaking of which, this was posted today, and it says, I find it ironic the people who are most critical of predictions are those who never make any of themselves. And I just wanted to post this because he put it up today. I thought it was funny because I do make predictions, but I also want to say, like, my predictions in no way does it mean I'm going to be right on 75% of things. If I'm right at 55%, I'm doing pretty good. It's hard to make predictions, but some of these predictions I make are not saying they'll definitely happen, but saying that everything looks like they could happen as far as the economy is going, and just be prepared is all I'm saying. Obviously, I'm like everybody else, praying for a miracle because I want the system to reset. I want it to get back to being fair. A correction has to come. This all has to be done. It has to be purged. We've been living on a fake system for decades now. But despite all that, I want it to be done as painlessly as possible. I don't want people losing their homes. I don't want people losing their jobs and going bankrupt. That's terrible. It's terrible. I don't want people suffering. I want as little as possible. I only want the people in charge who made us this mess. I want them to be the ones who suffer from justice that they deserve. But at the same time, it's important to be ready. Ham says, if it goes to hell, buy coffee. That is absolutely true. I will be paying big prices. After these squeezes, I'm loaded up on cash. I'll be paying big prices for coffee. I was reading this biography on Dietrich Bonhoeffer, who is the great Christian martyr in World War II, stood up to Hitler from within Germany, and then he was killed. But when the Weimar Republic was in between World War I and World War II, the Weimar Republic comes in, and they are tasked with this impossible task to pay back all the damages from World War I, because all the Allies got together, they forged a treaty, and they said Germany has to pay us back for every bit of damage that happened in the entirety of the World War I. Well, it's an impossible debt to pay. But because of that, it crippled Germany's economy. And one of the ways Germany tried to get out of it to pay off the Allies was to hyperinflate their currency. So they inflated it to insane demands where it got to the point where like buying a loaf of bread cost $1 million. And this is where you see like the pictures of people with wheelbarrows of money to just go buy like basic goods. And that's hyperinflation. That's the kind of insanity that can come. I don't think it will, but obviously that was a very tough time for Germany. And when you realize how tough that was, and that's why they all rallied around Hitler so much, because Hitler came in and was like, we're not going to do this. We're not going to pay him back. And he basically fixed their economy. But not on top of that, though, the difference between, say, like where we are now as a country and where Germany was, Germany had just lost the biggest war and lost their empire and been crushed and basically made to feel like, so it'd be like today if a great leader came in to say, I don't know, who is everybody ganging up against, like, and is beaten. I can't really think of an example at the moment. It'd be like if Russia lost the war in Ukraine. Okay. If they lost the war in Ukraine and were devastated and a great leader came in, and I don't mean great as a great person. I just mean a strong leader, and came in and fixed them. And then they follow it no matter what, because everything was taken from them. Well, our economy is about to could get that bad without having lost a war. And so that's the difference, is that we won't be being beat up by these other countries, because the whole world's going to be in this issue if America falls into it. So that's the kind of crazy stuff I think is possible. I don't necessarily believe it'll be that bad, but things are bad, guys. If anybody got the chance, watch the documentary. Oh, I forgot what it's called. I just watched it over the weekend. It was really good. It's a financial documentary that's going around, but it's about how this whole system's set up to just really take everything from the people, and they set up for a crash. And whether you believe everything or not in it, it is interesting, and a lot of it makes sense. So let's see here. Echabowski, West not being dethroned anytime soon, just based off geopolitics alone. I agree with you, Echabowski. I'm not saying it's happening tomorrow, but it's heading in that direction. Would real estate be good? Real estate is good for if you're not looking at it as an investment at this time, because things are so overpriced, but if you're looking at preserving wealth. So if you buy a bunch of property, it's going to be worth something always, no matter what. Even if that worth goes down, at least it'll be worth something. It's not like currency could just go and be worth nothing one day. You could have $1 million in cash in your mattress, and they could make a couple changes, and all of a sudden none of it's worth a thing. But if you hold, or same with your bank account, but if you have property and it's owned, legally owned, at least you have something, even if it's not valued. So even if the price on your property decreased 60% that you bought it from, that 40% will hold and isn't not going anywhere. You'll always have an asset. That's the point. But yes, real estate, it's not where you want it to be right now. That's for sure. For the Republic, I'm buying gold because the major money will pack in a small area. That much silver would take over. Yeah, the silver would take over a lot. That's right. Steven, it's not difficult to make a plan with no money. That's not true. You can have a plan for how much money you have, and you just got to start making those plans ahead of time. You can't move on that plan, but you can make the plan just in case. Nelson says, you can't believe you have to pay tax if you buy gold. Yeah, that's crazy. So stupid. Gold and silver, buy land. They're not making anymore. XRP maybe. Make friends with preppers. Yeah. They want all that to happen so they can rescue everybody. That's true. I do agree with that. But we also got to talk about the fact that I don't think they're going to get the result they want from this. I don't. I think the economy will crash. I think it's going to be rough, but I think the coming out of it is not going to be what you would call like the World Economic Forum type people. I don't think they're going to be in control of this, which brings me to another tweet I wanted to share from DC Drano. This guy's just awesome. Always sharing good stuff. He says, many worry about Black Swan event in 2024 as the regime lashes out with everything they have to stop Trump, America First populist movement. But you must remember, we are the most powerful force in this country. And we control this nation's trajectory. We will stop them. He means we, the people. And so if we band together, and I agree with this, I do think that so much has been exposed in recent years that it's going to get stopped. That's what I believe. But it doesn't mean it's not going to be hard to do it. Eric, in that circumstance in Germany, people use silver and gold for daily purchases? That's a good question, Eric. I did not study it that extensively to know that. Jerome, Canada basic income proposal of $2,000 per month, no matter how much you earn, will cause hyperinflation. That is very true, Jerome. Moody, on a moral front, check out Bonhoeffer's Dilemma. He's part of the conspiracy to kill Hitler. Yes, he was. I believe he was part of the... what's that Tom Cruise movie? Valkyrie. I believe he was part of the Valkyrie project to try to take out. And yes, he was part of an assassination attempt on Hitler. And yep, he definitely... Bonhoeffer's a fascinating character. In fact, here's the book right here. Excellent book. And by the way, if you guys ever want some heady reading, it's very long. But it's one of the best books I've ever read. It's fascinating. Let's see. Mexican says, Ace, people in Venezuela walking around with stacks of cash just to pay for a can of soda. Yep, there you go. That's hyperinflation. Anyone else slurping up these low GTI prices? I think lots of people are, man. Lots of people are. The Great Taking. Thank you, Ed. Yeah, it's very good. Yeah, Starbucks sucks. And I can say that. I work there. Hands listening by, pissing on SEC and Twitter. I love it. Rum Dog looking at homes in East Coast Puerto Rico. Nice. Yeah. Property is finite. Property is finite? What's that, Anthony? What do you mean? Steven, how long do you think it would take broker needs to move money? Are you talking about getting your money out from them? CBDC to fix the economy? Yeah, I think that's what they want. I just don't think it's going to happen. I really don't. And doesn't mean they're not going to try to institute it, but I don't think it's going to be the way they want it to be. Let me put it that way. I don't think they're going to be able to create something that controls us. You guys know, and I've said this 100 times, I'm not going to stop saying it. I believe things are going to get really tough for a season, and coming out of it, the fix is actually going to be a real cure this time. Not that everything will be perfect coming out of it. Obviously, that's stupid. We're people. But I do believe the system is going to come out much better. The economic system, everything. I believe, my personal belief is there's really good people fighting on our side in all of this. And then on top of that, I believe the internet has it's done something they never expected it to do. They wanted it to be able to push out false information, brainwash us, get us addicted to pornography, all this stuff. And it's done that to some extent, but it also, because of people like Elon Musk and the other Wild West of the dark internet, whatever it is, where you can actually share real information, because of all that, it's made it, people just were smarter at using the internet than the elites are. And by elites, I mean the people who hate us that are in charge of a lot of this. And the thing is that we are fighting back in a way they never expected. And because of the transfer of information going on, that is becoming more and more, we're becoming more effective at it. We're better at promoting that, spreading that, everything. And because of that, once this all happens and it's being rebuilt, I believe it's going to be impossible for them to ever have the kind of control over us they had before. They'll never be able to create this shadowy system again, where they get to operate for decades with us having no idea what's going on, except for the few people we all thought were crazy for a while. And that I just don't see them being able to do anymore with what's coming. And I think technology, as much as a lot of us hate it at times, it's also going to be the thing that keeps us free, because technology is not good or bad. It's just how you use it. And so I do think it ultimately is the thing that frees us, even when they wanted to use it to control us more. And so I'm very hopeful about where we're going. And I can't afford not to be. I gotta say that too. How about an idea for truck signs? Ham, you putting together another truck? Steven, I think you're going to have no problems getting your money from the broker. I honestly don't. Diana grabbed 2,000 more GTI last week. Nice. Al called Fidelity to transfer Nextbridge AST, and Mitchell said it couldn't be transferred because Nextbridge was bought by a Russian company. What? Russia? That's crazy. XRP is good for you, Thomas. Yeah, I mean, I do believe in certain cryptos for sure. You're welcome, Barry. I'm still researching XRP. I've heard Ham talk a little bit about it. I don't think he's a big crypto guy yet. But it's something I need to study more to know where I feel really confident about putting my money. Pizza, you have positions in GTI and Finger, going to buy more starting New Year. Do I feel there's a more strategic buy at this point? Personally, it's impossible to know which one will go first. We can have estimations, we can have gut feelings, but the truth is that the story in each one has ebbed and flowed depending on what's going on in the companies. And so to me, it's impossible to know. For a long time there, for about 6 months, I would have said clearly it seems like Finger's about to go first. And before that, I felt it was clear GTI was. And now, I don't know. I mean, flip a coin. So personally, if I'm buying anything right now, I'm going to buy 50-50. Just because there's just no way to guess it. I'll put Richard in front of the SEC with a bullhorn telling jokes. They might bum rush him. Rosie got GTI shares. Nice. Yeah, I mean, it's amazing buying at 40 cents. Anthony, XRP kind of goes against what crypto's meant to be, which is decentralized. Interesting. So if you guys don't know Anthony, he's my best friend since first grade. He's also a major crypto guy and also internet security he does for a living. So I'm fascinated. I got to pick his brain more about this because I didn't realize that about XRP. So I'm guessing you're bearish on XRP, Anthony. Immortals adding more XRP once GTI goes. Vinman, truck's an idea. Stock price discovery is determined by Ken Griffin. Oh, I love that. Ham, I don't know if you could get audio on that truck, but that'd be a great idea if you could play even a 10-second clip of Ken Griffin saying that, and also maybe a clip of the Jim Cramer saying it. That would be awesome on the truck. And with a bullhorn just blasting it out. Goodwill, if you're already equally balanced in position value, buy GTI over Finger. GTI is a super volatile point. Finger still has room to wiggle down the macro, says Goodwill. So that's from a chart guy right there. So Stoney says Anthony's correct. XRP is very centralized, but has SEC legal clarity. Okay. Drink crazy. Did I say it? I don't have a drink tonight. I had enough last night as I was trying to overcome the end of my Niners game. Ham says he knows huge Bitcoin players. He says, ask away, I'm not, but I can ask. So there you go. Any questions Ham can get the answers for later on, especially with Bitcoin. I personally think Bitcoin is going to be good. I do. And one of the reasons I think Bitcoin will be fine is because a lot of the guys I trust with making money love Bitcoin. Like Robert Kiyosaki, who I think is just a smart dude when it comes to making money and buying up real assets. So I personally do plan on putting some of that money into Bitcoin for sure. All right, let me see here. Where else did I want to go with this tonight? This is good from Kirsten Shaughnessy posted this today, this little video. This is just about what's going on with South Korea. So let's just listen to this real quick. It's 20 seconds.
South Korea is upsetting the whole apple cart worldwide, making a lot of noise about naked short selling. I'm sure the SEC is squirming because we're making them look bad for not doing anything. If you want to do anything, go on Twitter and retweet SEC, South Korea. What are you doing? That's it. If there's not a problem, then shut everybody up and prove us all wrong.
I know that voice. Yeah, so as Ham says, South Korea is upsetting the whole thing. And there's just so much exposure going on right now. We have to be close. We have to be close. Richard telling Joe said SEC will jump out windows. That's probably a good thing. 3 things: GTI finger GDC. That's a movie, not a truck. I know, Ham. I was asking you though if on the truck if it can, because since it's digital, I imagine it could play video, not just slides. And so I was wondering if they can attach audio to it. I don't know if the truck has that capability. I know that like some event signs would, and that's why I'm asking. Because it would be really cool if you could do that. What do you think about buying dinars? Just Mike, I'll tell you that I have very good friends who are smart investors who are really big on Iraqi dinar and think it's going to do something soon. I'll also say that I've been hearing that for about 10 years. I also, the very first time I heard it, it was a prophetic voice person at a Christian gathering who had a prophetic word from God that something was going to happen with the Iraqi dinar, and a lot of people bought from that. And so this has been something that's been being talked about for a long time. And there are people now who really believe it's close. And it depends where you're looking for your information and stuff, how trustworthy you think it is. But I know a lot of smart people who think they're really close to revaluing it. So we'll see what it's worth if they do that. I do know they are for sure doing stuff in their economy right now. Ham says, look at this post. I told you 26K. It was going to 50K. Yeah. Yeah, you're right about Bitcoin. You can buy dinar at online exchanges. Charles Curry's making the states look bad in a good way. Absolutely. If Gary Gensler comes out, would probably float. You heard the Iraqi dinar will jump to 3. I mean, there's no way to know how high they'll do it. There's all kinds of speculation out there. Some people are saying it'll be $1. Some people I've heard as high as 5. It's impossible to know, but it's a relatively small risk. I mean, you can spend $200 and get almost 200,000 dinar. So, if they revalued that at even $1, you just made a killing on your investment. So, it might be something you want to take a risk on. Al, we investors know about Ken Griffin. General public will probably not understand what that means. Absolutely. But, I think you'd be surprised how many people know Ken Griffin now because of the whole GameStop thing and because of like movies like Dumb Money coming out. I think more people know than you think. But at the same time, the truck isn't just for the people walking by. It's also for the people in the windows who will definitely know who it is. So it's technically whistleblowing to them, which is why the truck can be so powerful. Ron, since they're big on Petro Plus, must maintain their currency to join BRICS. Maintain their currency? Like, you mean keep it as it is? Consider make a big splash and float. Just Mike, you wanted to buy dinars after Saddam. It seems like reevaluation is right around the corner. Yeah, that's what I'm hearing. James Earl Jones. I did just watch, I just showed my 6-year-old Empire Strikes Back for the first time. He loved it. Speaking of James Earl Jones as Vader. That was Joe. Who just passed away? James Earl Jones? Charlie says, I try to pick up a few shares of GTI each payday, flip a coin, buy whichever one wins. There you go. That's one way to do it. 10 years ago for $7.87, you could buy 1 million, right? Or I can do that. That's crazy. Paulie, just find an exchange, like a currency exchange online that people trust. That's one of the best ways to do it. Anthony says, Bitcoin is the safest investment in crypto. Oh, you deleted your post. Uh-oh. Was I too quick to read it? Sorry, bud. Let's see here. Let's go over a couple other things I saw today that were interesting real quick. Commercial real estate here. Properties are selling for less than half of what they were worth 5 years ago. Downtown Los Angeles office building sold for $92.5 million in 2018, just sold for $45 million. Imagine being that guy, especially in California where taxes are so high. Imagine losing half your investment on that. That's insane. 2 days ago, Aeon Center, third largest building, sold for 45% less than 2014. Al's all as real estate giants like WeWork filed bankruptcy. It's hi. My wife's home. It says this beyond bear market territory. This is going to hit housing soon too, guys. So just a heads up that the commercial sector is already, it's given us a preview of what's coming. Any chance GTI moves to Korea's stock market? I believe Ham's still going out there early in the year to talk about that, so we'll find out. Rosie, I see Gasparino was tweeting nonsense about MMTLP. Mark Bazzilla's tweeting. I did. Yeah, Gasparino's an idiot. He's an idiot. He's a paid shill. That dude is owned by Wall Street, and he loves hating on retail investors. He's a scum of the earth, and that's why Pedro's stuff is so great. How he's always mocking him, and it gets under Gasparino's skin. It's beautiful. But yeah, he's tweeting. No, I don't know who trusts that guy though at this point. He's a joke. Can you get Dinar at the post office though? Barbara, some of us have been in Iraqi Dinar a long time. Someone starting her 21st year. Wow, 21st year. Once IQD goes international, it's done. Safe Dinar is a good place to buy or sell currency. So there you go. Safe Dinar. So just Google that. And that comes from Barbara, who's been in it 21 years. So she knows. James, GTI lower cost basis. Hold what you already have. Seems like another AMC. James, other than the fact it's taken a while, I mean, what on earth makes you think it's like AMC? Because to me, that's literally the only thing I see similar between AMC and GTII. And I've answered this question in 1,000 times at this point over the last year. So maybe you haven't been watching the streams, but there's just AMC died because and is at the point it's at because the CEO robbed retail. The CEO betrayed retail. He let retail save the company, and then he betrayed them by diluting the stock at every opportunity, and not just a little bit, but by the billions. He has absolutely killed every chance that thing had at a MOAS, including creating a separate security, as he called it, in APE, the preferred equity share, which is one of the most nonsensical things that's ever happened. He literally split the stock and created a second, just a way out for the shorts. Is one of the most outrageous examples of criminality I've ever seen and ever heard of in the stock market. And the fact that he gets away with it and still has people trust him is unbelievable. Whereas GTI, on the other hand, is doing everything in its power to fight back against the short sellers. There has been some dilution, but oh, hold on, somebody's calling in. Howdy.
All right, let's pick up the pace.
I'm too slow for you?
Yeah, you're moving too slow.
That's California versus New York. So.
Okay, so I was, am I on? You ready?
I'm getting you set up. Yep, now go.
Okay. You ready?
Yep.
All right, so anything I say, again, is not for investment purposes. It's my own crazy thoughts. First of all, you talked about a Christian guy buying the Iraqi Dinar. It was a guy named Joe, and I knew the guy. Was that the guy that I reached out to? Yeah, he just passed away. All my friends own wheelbarrows of that money. So they've owned it for 10 years easy, 10, 11 years easy, all my friends. They think it's coming due. So, again, if you want to take a shot on it, my friends already put 10, 12 years behind it already. So that's been pretty common for a long time. What were some of the things you had? You had something, I just went blank on it.
I mean, I've been talking about a lot of stuff. I was talking about housing, Bitcoin.
Yeah, the Bitcoin stuff, anybody wants. I have the biggest players in the world in it, and I'm not a Bitcoin guy. I met the guy who owns all the Ethereum, who's like the biggest holder in Ethereum. I met all these people, and they're real. They play, but they understand the whole game. They know what's going on. So if you have any questions about it, ask. I can always ask. I'm not involved, but I can ask for you. Okay. I told you my experience with Bitcoin. My friend in Miami was buying Bitcoin
flipping it to the drug dealers and making them sell 500 a coin or 1,000 a coin back in the day when it was $500. You know, so he was doing that every day. He would give it to him, transfer it to the wallet. They give him the money. He just keep doing it to him. He was making a couple of thousand a day. So I thought it was a drug dealer thing. So I had no idea. So I never got involved with it. Then it became big boys, and obviously Wall Street wants to shut it down, or they want to get a piece of it, so they create all the derivatives. It gets more complicated as we go along here. So I guess once Wall Street gets involved, you got to be careful about it.
Yeah.
All right. I've been posting all these photos of the truck, completely completely insulting everyone in creation. The SEC said they just paid out $27 million in whistleblower complaints. Whistleblowers. I reported $27 trillion in crimes. No one says anything. You know, how much more can I possibly done? I put the truck everywhere. You know, it's hard to say we never tried to whistleblow. We put the truck right in front of your building. We've done it so many times. It's like, I don't even know where to put the truck anymore. Where do I do with it? I have no idea. You know, if you have any ideas, please, you know, reach out. Tell us what your ideas are. You know, I would love to hear my ideas. My ideas are getting stale. You know, again, I expect to hear from law enforcement after the first of the year. I've given them all the information. I think South Korea has definitely thrown gasoline on the fire. So, again, that's all great for us. MMTLP people, if anyone's here from that gang, continue to get more signatures. I went there with William and Todd and Big Lou from Brooklyn, and we handed out 500 pamphlets on naked short selling. Everybody knows about it down there. Just go knock on the doors. Continue doing what you're doing. And again, everyone fight is one. Don't fall for any bullshit. People trying to. There's no medals here. Anybody thinks they're getting a medal for exposing this thing. You get out of here. You're not getting a big key to the city, so get lost. You know. If anybody coming to New York City, be careful. There's a lot of maniacs running around. The people homeless running around with knives. It's just terrible. So just be careful as you come to the city. I posted something. 2 young girls got stabbed in Penn Station and the Grand Central Station. 14 and 16 years old. I mean, it's just terrible. Yeah. You have to walk around with your head like an owl and just keep, as you walk down the street, you got to watch for anything you're walking, because you could be walking past a crack house and then walk past a building where everybody's a millionaire. It's just it's not a good place anymore. It used to be fun, not anymore. I don't find it at all. I don't need to go down the street and get roped into a parade of everybody banging on your car. I'm not into that anymore. So I never was into it anyway. Anyway, I just put up tons of stuff about trying to expose it, insulting anyone. I don't even know how anybody's still standing. Yeah. How are they hiding it? It's just remarkable. That shows you how big it is and life-changing. Again, I've been saying that for a reason. The reason it's life-changing is because of security fraud. Mm-hmm. It's not like a company's got the cure for cancer. If you did, you wouldn't go anywhere anyway. So I put up a stock today, another one that Lynn Partners destroyed, Indian David, ID. It's another company they lent money to, getting delisted. It's just terrible, all these things. SE, Sam, Eddie, Larry, another one we just found they did a loan to. Everything they do is horrible. Every company they invested gets destroyed. Mm-hmm. They're worse than me at picking stocks, these guys. They're awful. It's just terrible. So again, they tried to piss on us, saying it's not me, it's somebody else, it's not us. Don't look our way. It all starts with a toxic note. Most of these guys hedge against the note or a debenture. Yeah. No one's insane to go straight naked short all these stocks without some idea that they can cover. It's impossible. Mm-hmm. MULN has got all those shares laid into it because they had toxic debentures. They need money. That CELU, same thing. They need money, and it's just open season on them. What they do is they drive you down. They make you reverse, start over again. MULN, I don't know. I think it opened at 16 after the last reverse. I'm not sure. Am I close? I'm not sure.
It was 14,
and it went back down. Yeah. And it went back to 10 already. Mm-hmm. It went back below 10. I think it popped up a little bit today, but it went down already.
Yeah.
I mean, they wiped out everybody. You gave that description the other day, guy. If you put $1 million into it, it's worth what now? You said the other day. You said that.
I think it was like 177, something like that.
$177 down from $1 million.
Down from $1 million. Yeah.
I told you my friend was invested in Root, ROOT. He bought 200,000 shares on the IPO around $25. Mm-hmm. He called me. The stock was getting killed. I told him what was going on. He told the board of directors. He told the people at the company was based out of Ohio. He told them. They chose not to do anything. The stock went below $1. They reversed it. I forget what it was. The amount of reverse. I think it was 25 to 1. It got back up to 25, and they killed it again back down to 2. So my friend lost everything. Yeah. That was $5 million, whatever it was, out the window. I mean, they just that's a big company. That's not like it was that was the biggest IPO in the state of Ohio. I think it was a $6 billion IPO, worthless, garbage.
Yeah.
I mean, so it's the same, as Richard would say, I keep saying it's the same stupid pattern. It is the same thing. It's just repeat, rinse, kill. And the loophole is what kills it. The naked short selling, the loophole, these guys can sell stock without borrowing it. They can sell it and just sell it into the marketplace. It was designed to add liquidity, but these guys took it to the next level. No one pays attention. And they just keep flooding the market. The weight of the extra shares kills the stocks. That's it. There's nothing else you can say. Yeah. Finger motion pops its head. They come. I look at it this way. I watch finger motion and GTII. How do you move a stock down when there's no sellers? There's no one really selling. I don't hear anybody. You may sell. Some people may sell here and there. For the most part, you get someone who sells a little bit here and there. But for the most part, all day it's just. They just, it goes 4 to 405 to hit the 4 bid. The guy who buys it at 4, turns around and he sells it at 395. Mm-hmm. It's the same stock. They just keep selling the same stock back and forth. And what's the big deal if you sell 5,000 at 4 and then sell it at 395? You're losing 5 cents 5,000 times. It's nothing. That's considering all the shares that they're short. Mm-hmm. So to do it, it's like they're losing a penny. There's not, don't get me wrong. I keep trying to tell you, Wall Street's about pennies. And the pennies add up every day when you start losing. So again, these trades are all losing trades for them. But the intent is to get us to bail and to mark it down. That's it. Yeah. So now the company, we have to hope the company's in a race to get some news out. Everybody, get the news out, get the news out. And, the poor companies are under attack to hurry up. And, my message back to all my friends who own big stock is, hey, tell them to make sure they do it correct. Don't screw it up. There's no rush. Up and down a nickel is not going to change the world. Yeah. We'll keep fighting on this front. The companies do what they have to do. Like GTII, there's people reaching out to me. They want me to talk about, what they're doing. And, until I get the full story, I don't know what to say. I don't know anything about it yet, so I don't know. So when they reach out, you told me they tried to reach to you, right? They reached out to you, and yep. They're trying to get to me, and I just don't have the time for them right now. Yeah. I'm gunning for KYP for Friday. You better be ready. Tell me where to go. I called you out now. Don't be ducking me now. Now I'm pissed off. Now I'm coming.
Pissed off with a losing streak.
Yeah, oh my God, I'm 0 for 9. My football team, I lost all my money there. My team's falling apart. And unlike yourself, I don't know if I have to watch them no matter how bad the car crash is. I have to look. Yep. Yeah, I'm not. In New York, we call it rubbernecking when you drive past a car accident.
Oh yeah.
I'm not a rubbernecker, but when my football team plays, I have to watch it, good or bad, and I'll sit there and suffer and just watch it. But after a great year, I lost all my money. I got kicked out of the playoffs. My team's falling apart. Nothing good is happening here. So, do you have any other questions from anybody? I don't want to keep you guys all night. I don't want to.
Nothing big. Somebody asked if you're still in GDC, but you answered that earlier.
I just put it up there. I just told you what I did.
Exactly. Yeah.
I told everyone this afternoon. I told everyone on Williams' call. When I bought the GDC, I'm following my friend who, by the way, is, approaching 1 million shares. Yeah. Of GDC.
Still buying.
I could have had the opportunity to buy ALT. I passed on that. It went from 550 to 11. So we all do the same thing. Yeah. So, again, you just think about that. Here it is. I'm telling you that, I'm actually very good at this stuff, but you get caught once in a while. What are you going to do? There's nothing you can say.
Well, it just shows you can't chase. Nobody can win chasing.
I never chase stocks. I never do. I always buy them on my terms. I sit there and I just accumulate it, and then eventually, if you go back and look at Finger, they were knocking it down below. I think I paid $1.01 on the last beating down. $1.01, $1.05. I bought stock down there.
Yeah.
Maybe 11,000, 12,000 shares I bought down there when they were killing it. They broke it below $1, then it turned and ripped back up to 8 or 9, wherever the hell it went to. I can't remember what price.
Mm-hmm.
But again, I was buying it on the dips. I believe what we have, and that's all I can do. This quiet period, you got to remember, we walked into December. They attacked it before December. Then we go into the quiet period of the holidays. Then you got the tax laws selling. People lose the interest because the market's not doing anything. And everyone thinks the world has ended. Nothing's changed. It's only gotten stronger. All right? The trucks, the MMTLP, South Korea, there's a lot of things. Law enforcement, both major law service.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think you can get any better.
No.
The problem is we want instant gratification. So do I.
Yeah, exactly.
I was an option trader. I want to buy calls at 10 o'clock in the morning and sell them by 10:45. That's how I used to live.
Yeah.
So for me sitting here working the same thing, keep following it is very out of the norm for me. So again, I'm just like you guys are.
Yeah.
But again, I just showed you. I got the call to buy ALT. I bought GDC because I was following my friend. My other friend was telling me about this. What am I going to say? So that's how it goes. Like you, I look at it and curse it and say, how the hell I didn't buy this one? I didn't do it. I don't have any more money. I invested and that's it. I sit and watch.
Yep. 100%.
Anything else?
Somebody's asking about timing. What if you just give your 10 1 minute spiel on why you think we're close again, so I don't get any timing
I've been doing this 24 years. And what I see now, thanks to Twitter and everyone here, I see a lot of names that I recognize, from, I'll just say KYP. Everybody's coming to these calls with William and you, and there's so much activity. And 24 years ago, I didn't speak to the FBI and to the Secret Service. I was, blank on that. I never thought about it. Then I just kept thinking, counterfeiting, why don't we call the Secret Service up? That's what they do. Yeah. And if you look at it, they do counterfeiting of financial instruments. So I consider equity an instrument, a financial instrument. So, and the gentleman that I'm speaking to had no idea about it, but we educated him, and now he went to his analyst, and they're working on it. The FBI has great questions. They're coming back and forth. I told you they all, in the office in New York, they all got stuck in MMTLP. Like us, they invest. People they play the equity markets. Not everybody, look at Nancy Pelosi playing. Everybody can play the equity market. That's what it's about, right?
Yeah.
And I guess they heard about MMTLP. They bought that, and they own Finger Motions. Mm-hmm. What more can you say? Yeah. They own the stocks that we're trying to fight with. They didn't buy GTII, but the guy, he wanted me to come in. He asked me if I would come in and educate everyone. And by the way, they listen to our calls, my calls. They listen to them.
I believe it.
And they thanked me about educating them. They didn't understand it. Now they do. They're involved in the stocks. The one gentleman told me he told all the other guys in the office, and he buried them all. And I said, if I come in, don't be pointing at me. I didn't tell you to buy it. I'm just kidding. He goes, no, it's me. I said, as long as I have no problem. I have no problem coming into the FBI headquarters down by the Southern District down there and go talk to them and show them how it works. Mm-hmm. So for all the big mouths that want to come down, all the guys, the bashers, anyone else, anytime they want to go, I'll take you right in. I got their names. They'll be willing. They'll love to talk to you. Anyone who wants to defend security fraud, okay. Just think of Gasparino. What is it? What's his bone to pick with anybody here?
Yeah.
The people invested. The stock stopped trading. All the people are saying is, what the hell's going on? Mm-hmm. It could be it doesn't make a difference what the company does. It's a symbol. It stopped trading. What's the fraud? Is it the fraud on the long side or the short side? Is it John Berger and his people? Or where is it? That's it. That's all he has to say. If there's no fraud, then show the blue sheets. What's the number? That's it. There's nothing else to say.
Mm-hmm.
That's the whole thing.
Yep, 100%.
Adding any more information to this thing, I think that everyone here needs to get this thing, make it simple. You guys keep getting dragged down the rabbit hole on all these different angles. It's just counterfeiting. Someone's selling shares. No one's checking to see if they're real or what they are. No one's settling the trades. That's it. There's nothing else to it.
Mm-hmm.
You can't flood the market with dollar bills or 20s. You go to jail. You can't flood the equity markets with fake securities. That's what they're doing. There's no rhyme or reason to what they're doing. I said it before. Public companies, the SEC.
Did you see the Congress people going after Gensler for?
Did you need me? Good.
Did you see the Congress people going after Gensler for too much regulation? Did you see that?
No, I did not.
Yeah, said a bunch of Democrats wrote him a letter saying they're worried about too much regulation. Do you believe that?
I lost you.
Can you hear me?
I said no. I said I lost you. I didn't see what they said. I'm sorry. I missed. You broke apart.
Okay. I was just saying that I just can't believe we're trying to get him to do something and they're coming after him for doing anything. I don't think it's got to be about that. The new short rules is my guess.
Oh no! Listen, the hedge funds are probably cringing.
Absolutely.
You know, they have to show their cards after all these years. And that's coming from us. I mean, you guys think that nothing's happening. That's coming directly from what we're doing. There's no question that that's what this is about. He actually referenced it about GameStop. He said that he said that because of GameStop, we need to have transparency on the short side.
Yeah.
That comes directly from us.
Yep.
So there's things happening. I know everybody. I can't believe it myself that they allow people to get robbed on a daily basis. I still can't believe they're doing it. So I'm with you. I just can't believe how it's still continuing. But we're close. I've been doing this a long time, and I could listen. I didn't have the Secret Service, the FBI. Susan Trimbath is knocking down the door. Richard Hoffman is watching every court case involvement here between Alpine and whatever else we're following. He's on top of it. The GTI dividend is a shit show, just like MMTLP was a dividend, a shit show. Everything around this whole thing is insane. Everything.
Did you see what happened last Friday with all the Fidelity people? I was one of them, where we got our dividends for about 40 minutes and then they transferred them back out.
Oh, I didn't see that. No, I didn't know.
Yeah, it was all over Twitter, and I checked mine, and my dividends were completely tradable for about 40 minutes. This was right after the close. And then on my show, as I was talking about it, they reversed it. And now they say they have no record of it. Somebody was asking today.
I keep telling you that the way to expose them is a special dividend. And everyone says, well, nothing ever works. How come? Just look what they're doing. They're making their own rules. They changed the rules, right? And you guys are seeing it. It's not, I didn't do it, right?
Yeah.
They're changing the rules. Well, you have them, now you don't. I mean, what kind of game? What is this? This is not the equity market. It's completely fraudulent.
Exactly.
We trapped the brokers. The brokers didn't get delivery of the stock. So now they are liable for the dividend. Now they don't know what to do. All right, we can't force them. We need a police action to get them. And now we got the deep pockets in trouble. Forget Lynn Partners and whoever else is doing this nonsense. You want to get E-Trade, Ameritrade. We want to bang them over the head because they're the deep money. These are the guys that are going to file bankruptcy and walk away.
100%.
We want to get the deep players. We want to get the deep pocket guys, and that's what we did. That's what it was designed to do, to get them.
Yeah. Exactly.
I think I'm looking at your thing now as, Finger, GTI, they steal from everyone. I mean, how much, these signs are brutal that we're putting on Twitter.
Oh, yeah. Totally.
Christmas Day, I got up at 7:30 in the morning. My kids are older, so I got up early and I just started banging out the signs and putting it out there and just kept torturing them. How much more? And then I see the Fox thing and I was like, okay, that's our Christmas present. There you go.
Yeah. That was great. Charlie Payne. Right. Yeah, it was great. Somebody's asking.
Charlie Payne, so good.
No, it was great. That was his segment. Somebody's asking about NWBO. because they said you mentioned it. So I don't know if you have anything to say on that.
I spoke with the CEO a long time ago. My friends brought me to him, and that's when they hired the guy from the CIA. He was going to track their naked shorts. They never did anything. They just kept diluting it. I met with I don't know who the gentleman is in Northwest Bio, but I met with Michael. I forgot his name. Oh, I forgot Sale. I forgot his name, out of Long Island. He was a funder to them. Everyone probably knows him. I forgot his name. And I was in his office, and the gentleman that sent me to him was Dirty Mayo. And I was in his office, and I texted him. I said, this guy just did a secondary with these guys, and he gave an order to what's the name of the brokerage firm? I'm blank. He was actually selling it as they were doing the secondary. So I told him, I walked out and says, you think this guy's buying stock and investing, and you're out of your mind. He just sold it. I was in the office with him. Maxim. The order went to Maxim. That's who I was there. I was sitting there, and he gave an order to Maxim to sell Northwest Bio.
Oh, wow.
So, I was talking about naked short selling, and here he is selling the stock. He was doing it, while he was doing the private placement. Then he was bragging that he owned all the stock. Meanwhile, he was dumping it. And I was right there.
Wow. Michael
Bigger. That's it, Bigger. Northwest Bio. That's the guy.
It's crazy.
So he was one of their funders. He was one of their toxic guys.
Yeah.
I believe it anyway.
Wow.
He said he was long, but I seen him dumping it right there.
Okay. What?
So that was pretty good, right? How's that? I walked right into that one.
That's pretty good.
And now that I remember, that was 5 years ago I did that.
Wow. That's wild. You think there could be possible lawsuits against the brokers about the dividend?
Oh yeah, no. This takes time, but yes, I think you listen. Everything everyone says is documented, and we sent it to Wes.
Okay.
All right, I'm not the only one that follows it. I got about 5 people following anything on GTI as far as dividends. They pluck it off of Twitter or stock twits, and anyone who's bitching and moaning, and we send it over to him.
Okay. Somebody's asking.
For that, Wes, go ahead.
Somebody's asking that you said on William's show you're getting an update from law enforcement. Do you have a timeline on that?
After the year.
Okay.
First of the year. They said after the first week of the year. Yeah.
Telling you.
And I will be going to South Korea. I just finished putting together a complete business. The whole thing I wanted to do. It's not easy. I got to go through an attorney who deals with the regulators and the government officials. So it's like I have to go the proper way.
Okay.
As soon as I go there, there'll be a war between North Korea and South Korea.
Oh, let's not go there. Yeah. Do you?
The shit's going.
Speaking of South Korea, I had an idea for a slide. What if you did a slide that said like South Korea bans short selling, their index up 15%, something like that? Just.
I'll get that up tonight. There you go. Thank you. That's a good one. There you go.
That might work.
Listen, people, give me all the ideas you have. Listen, I'm just a knucklehead, and I bang it off a few people, off their heads, and see what they say. And most people that I talk to understand it, but they don't fight 24 hours a day like I do.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
I got guys who got millions and millions of dollars invested, millions.
Yeah.
And they call up and they call me up. When's the FBI coming? I'm like, what do you think? They're in my house? What do you want me to say? I don't know. They're coming. I can tell you that. Can you get them to move faster? Oh, sure. Yeah, what do you want me to say? Those are the questions I get from the money people.
Yeah.
I mean, they hear it, they believe it, everybody understands it, and they know.
Totally.
Because they're getting hurt in other names also.
Yeah.
Guys have lost millions of dollars. My friend lost $4 million in Vocal, whatever the hell it's called now. Vocal, is that what it is?
Yeah, Vocal, yeah. CRTV.
He lost $4 to $4.5 million in that name.
Lord, that's crazy.
You got to keep playing. This is how it goes. And I told him, unless someone's going to fight 24/7, I don't know how you can do it. I can't invest in anything like that. Just a waste of time.
Yeah. Busy Brands is asking if you're going to take him to South Korea with you.
No, he's my Las Vegas guy. I will not take him to South Korea. That's a no.
Sorry, Busy.
Las Vegas, that's the guy you want to be with, everyone. He's the man.
He just wanted more sake.
No matter how much he drinks, he stands tall. He's got that evil smile about him, and that's the guy you want. I looked around. I lost 2 fingers with that guy. He shook his hand. I had 5 fingers. I shook his hand. I had 4.
Yeah. Have you ever seen this happen with a dividend in another stock getting tied up like this?
Have I seen it before? Yes. The famous one is Dole Foods. Let's look what happened there.
Yep.
You know, that's the 14 million shares. No one knew where they came from.
Yeah.
And that was in the press. Charlie Gasparino, just read the Dole Foods story. How did this happen?
Exactly.
Stop blaming technicalities on the system. Well, the system couldn't detect if they borrowed the shares. What kind of financial system is it? No one knows what's going on. That just tells you that stock loan, short selling is all unregulated. No one's paying attention to it. There's no one regulating the whole thing. It's like the Wild West.
Yeah, exactly.
And I am speaking to a brokerage firm. So this is how it works. We all buy a stock through E-Trade. E-Trade buys it from, let's say, Morgan Stanley. Morgan Stanley's supposed to deliver stock to E-Trade.
Mm-hmm.
If they don't, Morgan Stanley has a failure to deliver. E-Trade has a failure to receive it. They haven't received it. All right? E-Trade will call up Morgan Stanley and say, hey, we bought 100,000 shares from you from GTII. You have to deliver it. Morgan Stanley would say to E-Trade, hey, we're waiting it to come from JP Morgan. We bought it from them. And E-Trade would sit there and say, okay, you're Morgan Stanley. Oh, no problem. Well, give us a call in 2 days when you get it. And it goes away. That's the system. That's it.
Yeah.
If we get our own brokerage firm, when we call up, let's say, Morgan Stanley, we're going to say, hey, you owe us the stock. Morgan Stanley's going to say, who are you? Say, listen, we're Joe Blow Securities. We want our 100,000 shares. Morgan Stanley back office person say, well, we'll get it to you in 2 days. Say, no, you're not. We turn around, we buy in, say we have 100,000 fails. We go out and we buy 100,000 shares at the market, and we send Morgan Stanley the bill. So let's say we pay $5 for it. Morgan Stanley, we get a bill for 500,000, and we would say, tough shit. Now, Morgan Stanley's not going to be happy with us, but we protect our customers.
Yeah.
E-Trade is not protecting you. Fidelity is not protecting you. And you say, how do we know that? Because they don't have your dividends.
Yeah.
They're telling you they don't protect you.
Mm-hmm.
When we do something, and just think about this, Ace, think about this. How about I cut a deal with this guy who's got the brokerage firm, and he's self-clearing himself. And I go to him and I say, hey, I want to get 30% of your broker-dealer. And what are you going to do for it? He's going to say. I'm going to say, well, he has everything set up already. I would sit there and say, we're going to open accounts for you. And let's say I get an LLC. I put the 30% ownership in that. And then I retain 50 people from the street. And we all go out and solicit accounts to open up at this firm. Number one, Robinhood would go down because we're going to steal all their accounts, right?
Mm-hmm.
Take them over retail and put them over to this new place.
Yeah.
Right? We control, if anyone buys stocks through there, we'll make sure that they settle. They can't stop us from forcing the issue. They can't stop you on that.
Mm-hmm.
And then I would solicit public companies and have the public companies, let's say like that company's Lynn's killing, like ID, the one they're killing now. We go to the company ID and have them tell their shareholders to move their accounts because we will force settlement and expose the naked short sellers. So now we have public companies doing our work for us.
I love it.
So you understand, Robinhood is worth $11 billion right now.
Mm-hmm.
We take their accounts, they're worthless. Then we get the $11 billion in value. Of course, everyone on the street's going to hate us, but that's a different story.
Yeah, what does that matter, though?
Well, I don't care at this point.
Yeah, they'll get over it.
If we own 30% and we value if we get 30% of a broker dealer that's valued at $2 billion,
mm-hmm.
right? That's $600 million to split up amongst all our people.
Yeah. That's nice.
Right? We're doing it anyway, so why not get paid for it, right?
Yeah, exactly.
A $600 million payday would be great.
Oh,
also,
yeah.
I told you about the SEC paying out the whistleblower claims. Hey, pay us.
Yeah, pay us.
We've been reporting it. I told you we'll have a party, and then the rest of it we'll donate to cancer.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want the money. I'd rather donate it to cancer.
Sure, absolutely.
There you go.
Do you know if there's an update if Finger's considering a dividend?
Yes.
Okay.
That was pretty quick, right?
Yeah, no, I like the quick answers.
I had the biggest holders in the stock all called the company up and demanded that they do it. So I once they start demanding things like that, I'm pretty sure it'll get done.
Yeah. I got a slide idea from somebody. They say, what about a picture of Sergeant Schultz saying, "I see nothing," with the picture of GG walking away from the truck?
And that's not a bad one.
That's kind of fun.
Listen, him walking past the truck is brutal.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Brutal.
It's a great picture.
How did he that's a disgrace.
Mm-hmm.
He should be tarred and feathered just for that, just for walking past, not stopping and saying, all he had to do was turn and say, "What the fuck is this? Who are you guys? What's going on?" That's all he had to say.
Exactly.
And say, "You know what? We're going to look into this." That's all he had to say.
Exactly, which he would have done if he really cared at all. Even if it was just for the photo op, he would have done it. But
I think, thank God we came up with the truck idea, because this is before you guys came around, most of you guys here. But in GTII, every day, I had hundreds of people call up at 12 o'clock every day. Mm-hmm. The same time.
Yeah.
We called it the GTI hour. We called up at 12 o'clock every day, and we reported the crime. But the SEC, it goes into a black hole. We have no idea. We have no idea if they're actually recording it. We don't know what they're doing with it. Are they telling anyone? We don't know. Like, we could have had 1,000 people call up. They don't know. No one tells us. But when you see the truck outside the building, we could sit there and say, okay, we're whistleblowing. Here's the goddamn truck in the picture. Oh, yeah. Here are you walking past it, which was phenomenal that he did that.
It's so good.
Yeah, I'll take care of Sergeant Schultz for you. Any other questions?
Busy says if Gasparino's talking crap on MMTLP, it must mean we're over the target.
Listen, all you have to say to him is, how can you defend fraud? You're a reporter. Just get to the bottom of it. Either we're right or we're wrong. That's it. It's pretty easy.
100%. If
it's fraudulent activity, we like you to report on it. If we're all insane, then shut us down. AMC, he's got this beef with AMC. I don't know why he's insulting people like crazy.
Yeah.
Stop trading it. Count up how many shares are long and how many shares exist. That's all you have to do. It's pretty easy.
Yep.
Why would anybody have a fight about that? If you don't believe in it, I got it. But show us the proof.
Yeah.
This is the United States. This isn't the third world country. We are a third world country now because of all this nonsense.
Oh, my God.
We can't clean up anything. Mm-hmm. Nothing gets cleaned up. Zero. All they're trying to do is turn us all against each other. This one against that one, the teachers, this person. I'm sick of the whole goddamn thing. Fix things. Fix the roads, fix the bridges, fix the stock settlement system. Everything we do is based on this. Mm-hmm. And they're leaving it so that there's 500 or 1,000 hedge funds stealing everybody's money.
Yep.
I just showed you. I can tell you this. I'm very good at picking stocks. I'm great at trading stocks. But guess what? I'm not right all the time. I just showed you. I passed on the winner, and I took the loser. So I'm just like everyone else. How does Ken Griffin trade thousands of stocks every day and never lose? How could Virtue never lose? It's impossible.
Impossible.
I've seen Stevie Cohen, all the best, lose all the time. I've seen them lose all the time. Mm-hmm. Don't get me wrong. When they get a winner, they get a big winner. But when they lose, they lose.
Oh, yeah.
Stevie Cohen got blown out in Fairfax, FFH. Stevie Cohen got blown out in Volkswagen short squeeze. Stevie Cohen probably lost money in the GameStop, but he probably made it back on when they killed it back down. These guys lose. They get crushed.
Yep.
Anything else? You guys done?
Yeah, nothing real. Not much else tonight. Well, somebody's asking, will there be a margin call for GTII? But I don't think it's a margin call that's gonna do this.
Well, we had the margin call.
Mm-hmm.
I said it when it went from 60 cents. I taught everybody. I said there has to be a red light going on at the DTC when the stock ran up.
Mm-hmm.
It ran up to $9, and I was saying every day, how are these guys standing? Someone has to be looking. This is impossible.
Yeah.
And what happened? They were free riding it. The Alpine had no money. They were backing the trades with no money, and they got busted by them.
Mm-hmm.
That was it. It's right there. You got the proof. Go back and look. Anyone who doesn't believe, go look at all the SEC fines about naked short selling, and tell me how many symbols you see. Get me the amount, the symbol. You never see any of it.
No.
Because if, God forbid, the SEC puts out that, let's say, Chanos was short Shopify when it was a couple of $100, whatever. I forget how high it went. Let's say it was 500. The stock goes down to $50. They shorted it all the way down, and he was doing it illegally, and he gets caught. If they come out and say, hey, SHOP, Chanos was shorting it, and he made $450 illegally naked shorting this thing, everybody, the brokers, everyone will be getting sued.
Yeah.
Because they allowed this guy to happen. They can't tell you because look at the damage. You notice they always put in, when they are a pump and dump, they always put the stock symbols in there. When it's the naked short, they never. Goldman naked shorted 6 million times. They mismarked the tickets. What tickets did they mismark? What was it?
Oh, yeah. Exactly.
Think about it. Ace, think about it. If they mismark 6 million tickets, let's say 6 million.
Yeah.
And 5 million are in, finger motion, that stock is going down because it's concentrated, right?
Exactly.
So a concentrated short is a deadly short.
Yep.
And what did they say about GTII? Alpine had a concentrated short position.
Yep.
There's your proof.
Yep.
How are they allowing this to still continue? Just like MMTLP, how are they allowing GTI to continue?
Mm-hmm. I mean, I wonder.
And I got it.
At this point, with the way that FINRA's going after Alpine, it's going through the courts. It's almost like maybe they are trying to get it. The courts are keeping them alive for now, and they're just like kamikaze. They know they're dead, so they're just going nuts on it. It's a possibility for sure.
I have no idea. Listen, they have all these different LLCs. They're just doing anything they can to try to break this so they can make it go away. That's all I can think they can do. That's all I can think of them trying to do.
Yep.
But each day that we go on, we're getting closer. I'm telling you, law enforcement is coming. That's my gut feeling. Based on my conversations, they're coming.
Yeah. I think it's going to be an interesting new year for sure.
Listen, no one wants to waste another minute doing this. Trust me, I want nothing to do with it anymore. I'm sick of it. But I can't stop. What am I supposed to say?
No, I can't.
I can't stop. I've been doing it for so long, I can't stop.
Yeah.
But I am truly sick of it. It's making me nauseous that I keep trying to tell you, these signs are brutal, these truck signs.
Yeah.
Brutal.
Yeah.
And I just keep posting them, and I tag the SEC, the FBI, the DOJ, everyone, Hester Pence, whatever her name is, all of them.
Yeah.
I mean, their Twitter feeds. How about Gensler coming out the other day saying, if you see a crime, report it?
Oh, my God, I know.
I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? I did it 7,000. I've been doing it for 20 years. Are you kidding me? How much longer do you want me to do it for? I'm like, Hindenburg calls up, they get paid. Think about what Hindenburg's doing. Mm-hmm. They're shorting the stocks, then reporting it to the SEC, killing them, getting them investigated, then they get paid whistleblower money on it, $28 million.
Unbelievable.
They hit the triple there. That's like the triple at the racetrack.
Mm-hmm.
You hit we shorted it. We called the SEC. They're paying us, and the stocks are collapsing. We're killing them on the short side. Who's next? Meanwhile, we're reporting it every day, and no one says anything. These guys got a direct pipe in. They can get direct access in a second. We've been screaming for 5 years. No one says anything.
Yep.
We even give them the names of the short sellers. the amounts, the name of the short sellers, time and sales, everything we show them.
Mm-hmm.
Fake prints, washed, spoofing, you name it. Every crime in creation. And no one looks.
Yeah.
Or they are looking, and they're gonna. I think they are looking. I think they're gonna rope a lot of people in shortly.
Yeah. I think we're coming into a very interesting year. I think 2024, it's all coming down.
That's what it is.
You know.
All right, listen, guys. I'm gonna go watch the rest of I'm watching the Florida replay, so I'm torturing myself.
I was gonna say, go watch The Good Place and laugh a little bit or something.
I do that at night. Thank you very much. Listen, have a great night. And KYP, reach out. I'm coming for you. Have a great night, everyone. Thank you.
Man. Thanks. Bye.
Thank you.
Love it. Great stuff. Funny if Gigi walked past the truck with a slide when his photo was up. That would have been great. I love it. I wanted to talk on something real quick about somebody was asking about Trento, and Goodwill was talking about, why would they do it now that the stock's less? And it's a great point, Goodwill. I think the value for Trento, though, is much more in the fact that they could be uplisted to the NASDAQ through GTII, and that's the whole reason for the deal. So who would, but I don't know. I mean, all I know is that they keep saying that it's still there. I mean, it's on their website. It's the deal that won't go away. But if it ever does happen, it's going to be so massive. So we just have to continue keeping our eyes open on that, because we just have to keep hope alive, and we have to look at what we have. We don't have all the information, but we have a lot of it, and we just have to keep using that information, why we believe in these plays. And I saw Jack, and says we've lost so much money. You're right, Jack. I mean, a lot of us have, and a lot of people have lost a lot of money because of these attacks and stuff. But also think about, even if you played it completely safe the way things are right now, and say you bought up property the last few years, and then it's about to crash down, or say you're totally trusting your 401k, and yet that could be completely obliterated in the next couple of years if all this goes down because the economy is so bad. Nothing is guaranteed. Nothing's guaranteed, and it sucks to lose money. It does. Everybody hates it. But the truth is that, to me, there's much more hope for the future in a fight like this than there is in doing what everybody says is the safe thing to do. I mean, unless you just bought a bunch of gold and sat on it. But even then, you're not making money, you're preserving money. And that's fine if that's what you want to do, because that is pretty much a near 100% way to preserve your money. And that's great. But the truth is that no matter what you do, there is no such thing as a safe investment anymore. Not investment. There are ways to protect your wealth, like I said, with gold and silver, or even buying property. But if you're looking for a way that's safe to make money, it's just not possible anymore. It's not. We live in a completely inflated stock market that's inflated because of a debt system that's unsustainable, and also inflation with all these dollars rolling in. So it's fake in multiple ways that are new. So, but yeah, and as far as like the margin call, we could definitely see something happen soon in the new year. I mean, think about it. They're all cleaning up right now for end of the year books. Who knows what's going to happen come this new year? We might even just see a small run up to, 2, 3 again for a while. Anything's possible at this point. We've seen GTI hit these levels so many times and always bounce back. And that's something that every single chart guy on this chat and in videos and everything will all agree on, that GTI has always been a smoke and buy at this price point. So we just gotta keep knowing what we know, and we can speculate based on what we know, and that's all we can do, and just hope for the best and keep fighting, and believe that as long as the story doesn't change, we still are in a really good position, and that's what I'm holding on to for sure. Goodwill says, no margin call liquidation event 140. I don't think they're scared of 40. They have a better cost basis begin their cover strategy. It's possible, and we'll see how that goes. Thanks, Roger. You're welcome. Moody says, if anything on the truck was not true, targeted individuals would have sued by now. That's exactly right. You're exactly right. Robert Ace, your boy Purdy destroyed my chance to go to the championship. I'm sorry, Robert. You know, that poor kid gets reamed for having literally like one awful game. He had a couple kind of bad games earlier in the season, but he's had one awful game, and now everybody acts like he sucks. I feel bad for that kid, man. He's done nothing but put up monster numbers all year. What's up, Robert? Mortal says, hope we have good volume for GTI again, like this $2 million days. I believe it's coming. I do believe it's coming. One of the reasons it hasn't gone up, I mean, obviously there hasn't been news to force a lot of buying lately. And on top of that, though, the volume is actually a good thing in one way. That means nobody's selling either. So I think the smart people who have just a little bit extra cash, who are following this, they're still accumulating, and that's what's keeping those numbers up. That's really it. But it's not FOMO buy. There's no big people buying in a bunch more anymore. But at the same time, we know everybody's holding, and that's great. That's great news. Buy the dip, sell the rip, says Croissant. Brett, too much creative financing and fraud on Wall Street. They don't understand the meaning of over leverage. Yeah, exactly. I can't tell you how soon, Jack. I wish I could. But if you want to talk about soon as far as like relatively, then yeah. I mean, what have we been here? I've been here about 14 months now in GTI and another year and a half of that on AMC. So almost 3 years total in a fight like this. And, you know, if it happens in 6 months and it's 3.5 years that I've been in it, that still is relatively soon compared to the whole of my life. If it changes my life, it's worth it. You know, high school takes 4 years. College takes 4 to 6 if you're lucky. Everything takes time. So soon is relative. And then you look back at it and you say, God, thank you I was in those plays, even though it was hell at the time. Yeah, he was balling most of the season, huh, Robert? Moody, you're feeling exhausted from the waiting. Anybody else? I was feeling that in November, Moody. I've definitely gotten some energy back the last few weeks. I don't know what it is, but I think because we're coming up to 2024, and I really think 2024 is going to be a crazy year and amazing and hard and wild in so many ways. And that has me energized because I know there's a lot of work to do, and I think a lot of things we've been fighting for are about to start happening. So because of that, it's energizing me. Yeah, still had I had Ham on for about an hour, so that's why. So, well, guys, on that note, I am going to call it a night. And I just wanted to, leave you guys with some perspective that Ham posted this today. And it's just about remembering life being fair, but this little girl has no arms. And I'm just these are just wake up calls for me. I used to work with kids who special needs kids like this, and we did at my parents' church, and we'd throw Christmas parties for them and help out their families and stuff. And so I just just perspective. We're thriving in many ways. Most of us still have our health. We have a chance to change our lives going forward, and we're there's always something to be blessed for. So we have to remain grateful and stay in hope, and it's the only way to move forward, no matter how hard things have been. So just keep that reminder with you, because we are going to. I believe we're going to win. But nothing this big ever is easy. It just isn't. And so let's just remember that and be grateful for our family, friends, everything going on, and all that's coming up. I just believe life-changing. I believe this is a year lives are going to change. 2024, we're right there. We're knocking on the door, and all the fight of 2021, 2022, 2023, maybe before that, if you were there before it, and whatever your fight is, something is going on in 2024. I posted earlier how Zero Hedge sees it, and so many people are there, whether it's prognosticators to prophetic people to whatever. it's like there's an agreement that 2024 is going to be a world shifting kind of year. So let's just all believe that and prepare ourselves to be in the best position possible. And if it helps anybody, just my quick story again was back in 2008, 2009, when everything was lost. I just got married with my first kid, couldn't find a job, had no idea how to invest, how to prepare myself, watching a bunch of people around me get rich because they had the ability to buy in at that time in the market, watching The Big Short, seeing how those guys timed the market, and just begging and praying to God that I would be prepared when this finally goes down and that he would set up for us the right place to be when this went down so we could prosper from the corruption, from the idiots in charge. And I believe GTI and Finger are the best possible places to be for that. And I still believe that. That's never changed. And it's why I'm here, and it's why I do these lives so much, and why I believe we're going to win. So anyways, guys, God bless you all. Good things are coming. Goodwill says, thinks GTI is close to a run-up. Maybe not the squeeze. Think you're going to lose the window of cheap accumulation soon. So there we go. Love that. What's this Go Good guy? What the hell are you talking about, dude? Yeah, you're out. Don't need people like that in this. Thanks, Jack, Lyrical, MH. Something will change. Joel, you got over 1,000 Finger, 5,000 GTI. If I hit 1,000 per share on both, I'm going to be rich. That's right, Joel. Amen, buddy. I believe that's coming. Roger, you're welcome. Yep, we got to stay humble, too. That's absolutely right. Robert, we in it together. We'll celebrate together. That's right. That's right, guys. So, well, God bless you guys. Have a great night, and I will most likely see you again tomorrow. And let's just, keep staying thankful.